So we're going to use a real-life example to demonstrate the first demo of the six appeal. A client by the name of Marie. Marie went on to lose 4 stone, 1 pound. And you'll notice a few obvious observations. First of all, she's obviously slimmer on the right hand side than what she's on the left hand side. But I want you to pay particular attention to the speed of movement from being a beginner to then being more advanced, and also the ease of movement. And I think the important things to bear in mind for you just starting out in the program are these 3 things. First of all, be patient with yourself. You don't expect yourself to be able to do everything with ease immediately. Second thing is to be consistent with your exercises. You know, once you book that exercise in, consistency is the key. And then the third thing really is sensible progression, not pushing yourself too hard. Remember, exercise is not for weight loss. Exercise will help to give you all those other benefits like tone, improving your cardiovascular, your heart and lung function, but it is not for weight loss per se, so you don't need to push yourself excessively hard. So let's just watch Marie go through the 6 appeal before I demonstrate it myself in real time and give you a few coaching points as I go through it as well. So here you'll see Marie on the left and right, left before, on the right after, so those are the shoulder rolls, and then she takes it into arm circles. And again, just notice the freedom of movement on the right compared to the slightly restricted movement on the left. Then we're going to rotations, and part of that's down to not being familiar with the exercises. To be fair to Marie, it's not just down to the fact she's not as agile on the left as what she is on the right. Taking it to side lunges. Again, you can see there's more confidence, more freedom of movement there. And then we're going to the squats. You can just notice the depth of squat in comparison between left and right, and the speed as well that I spoke about. And then we take it into the chest press, and we're going to end just by showing you the arm swings going forwards and backwards. So you can see a definite difference there between the 2. So again, there are some obvious differences here. Things like obviously the size of Marie, left and right has changed, the speed of movement, the ease of movement. But also, because of the speed, it means that Marie's getting out a lot more volume of exercise in the same time frame, and that will be the same for you as well. So as you become fitter, you'll be able to do more in the same period of time. Just looking at the press-up position there, so on the left she's starting off in typically a half press-up position. She could have started this off in a box press-up position as demonstrated in your journal. On the right she did a full press-up. And then moving into single arm rows. Again, we use the same weight here. Well, she used the same weight. But you'll see there's greater ease, greater speed, and that's just down to the fact A, she knows what she's doing, she's more confident, and obviously she's stronger on the right hand side than what she was on the left hand side. And then when we go into the next exercise, the shoulder press, Marie demonstrates one where she's sat on a bench. In your journal you're stood, but if you wanted to sit on a chair and do the shoulder press, you could. Just gives you a little bit more security, helps with your position in terms of your back. So if you're not too sure, then do sit on a chair for the shoulder press. That's perfectly acceptable. And there she's looking at the journal, the same journal that you have, and going into a sit-up position. So you can see she's clearly ahead of herself on the right than what she's on the left. So again, that volume of exercise is far greater as she's become fitter. That's quite clear to see. And then she ends on the right hand side going into what we call Supermans. In your journal I've adjusted that to dorsal raises, but again, depending on your level of fitness and how comfortable you feel, you could do the Superman exercise. That's extending one leg and the opposite arm forwards as opposed to the dorsal raises. So I'm now going to guide you through the whole 6 appeal routine, starting off the warm-up. I'll be performing 10 repetitions per exercise, starting here with shoulder rolls going in one direction, and then changing, going in the opposite direction again. Work within a range of movement you feel comfortable and able with. Don't push yourself to unnecessary limits or put yourself in a position where it's going to cause injury or pain. Arm circles reaching nice and high before we change direction, go in the opposite direction again, working through a range of motion you feel you are capable of working through. Those feet are just well over hip width apart. Taking it into rotations as we go around. You'll notice as I rotate to one side, the heel comes up off the ground. That means you avoid unnecessary rotation and torsions through the knee joint. So making sure those heels do come up off the ground as you rotate those nice loose arms, just warming up and mobilizing that spine. Side lunges, both toes pointing forwards as we go side to side, stretching out, keeping the shoulders nice and level, hands in towards the torso, and just working that side to side. Again, we're working 10 repetitions each side. And this whole six appeal routine takes approximately 10 minutes, so it's not excessive. And we go from there, we take it into squats. Now with the squats, again, as you would have seen in the individual warm-up routine that I showed where I gave some coaching points, you'll see the knees don't go beyond the toes. So as you go into the squat, you keep the chest nice and high, and you ensure your toes do not go beyond your knees don't go beyond your toes when you squat. Chest press, here you want to imagine when your arms are pulled back towards yourself, you're at the base of a pyramid, and when you push them forwards, you're at the top of the pyramid. Arm swings, reaching up nice and high, again working within a range that you feel able to work within, and not overdoing that. And if you've got any sort of shoulder injuries, then be guided by what range of motion you've got available at your shoulder joints. Okay, we turn sideways on, arms up, and we do the knee raise. So important thing here is when you put the foot back, you'll notice the heel isn't being driven down towards the ground. So if you are tight in the Achilles area or have past injuries in your Achilles, you're not driving your heel down to the ground. So you'll notice the heel remains, a few centimeters off the ground. Arms nice and high, and just raising that knee up. If you are challenged with balance, don't take the leg back too far. Go back maybe half the distance. And that's your warm-up completed. We take it into squats then. So the squats, again, we're thinking about sitting back on an imaginary chair. And as we stand tall, we just drive those hips forward. So we take a little breath in as we lower, breath out as we lift. And we just drive those hips forwards at the top. Making sure those glutes are working, keeping that chest nice and high as you go down, maintaining that curvature in the lower spine so as to protect your back. Okay, so we're going to start off with a chest press. So we're going to do this in standing. Top right, you can see me on the floor doing it in a box presser position. So you've got two choices here. If you have the weights, you can use weights for this exercise. Top right, again, I've adjusted my position to a half press up position. As I do that exercise, a little breath in to lower, breath out to push up. And then we're going to transition this one into single arm row. So taking one leg forward, rear leg straight, non-working arm just above the knee. We lower and we lift up. Nice smooth rhythm. We're doing 10 repetitions. Keeping the head up, maintaining good alignment for the spine. And again, using a weight that you are comfortable with, a weight that you can perform 10 repetitions with, not overdoing it there in terms of the weight. Key thing to notice here is as I lower the arm down, the torso, my upper body is not rotating, so I'm fixing my core, my upper body. There's no rotation going on there at all. So you control it on the down as well as controlling it on the up. That's important to do. Okay, we're going to shoulder press. So I'm demonstrating this one now in standing. You'd have seen earlier Marie doing this one in sitting. Again, so you're making sure those weights are going up just in line with the ears. So it's a bit similar to the chest press. Base of the pyramid at the bottom and top of the pyramid at the top. So the weights are by the ears when they come down, and I'm pushing them up. We then move into the abs and core. So one hand behind the back of the head, sliding the fingertips up towards the knee. Little breath out as you lift up, breath in as you lower, making sure that chin and your neck isn't nodding forwards and backwards, so you fix a point for your eyeballs and you keep a gap between your chin and your chest, so you're not pulling with that supporting hand. The hand's merely taking the weight of your head as you lift. Dorsal raisers, we lift flat on our stomachs, point the fingertips as we lift up, keeping those feet in contact with the ground. As we lift, we just point those fingers, straighten the arms, so we work the triceps a little bit as well. So we breathe out as we lift up, breathe in as we lower down. This is working your thoracic spine, working the posterior part of the spine. And then we take it into stretches to finish off with. One leg back, easing that heel down towards the ground, so just stretching off that Achilles, holding for at least 10 seconds and building up to 30 seconds as you go along, but 10 seconds is adequate to begin with. Again, just gently easing that heel down towards the ground, holding that position, torso nice and upright. So we're working on 10 seconds per stretch as a minimum, and if you want to do a little bit more than that, then you can. We then take this one into a hamstring stretch, so one leg straight, one leg bent, both hands go above the bent knee. You'll notice the heel of the right leg is not too far forwards of the toe of the left leg there, so there's not a great distance between the two. Bend the knee to roll up and come out of the stretch. We change sides, again take the leg straight forwards, hands above the bent knee, and as we lower down we should feel that tension on the back of the straight leg. If you want to increase the stretch, you just lower the chest down a little bit more, but start off working within a range that you feel mild tension, not to the level where you think you're going to cause any damage. With the quad stretch, if you need to place your hand on a chair, then please do so, or a sideboard or something of that nature. If you're a little bit challenged with your balance, please make sure you do that. Otherwise, if not, then this is a great way to not only stretch your quads out, but also a way to help improve your balance. And I always like to fix on a point in front of me so as to give me a bit of stability, so my eyes are not moving all over the place and causing me to feel unbalanced. The inner thigh stretch, make sure the toes are pointing forwards. We lunge to one side, making sure that stretch is occurring in the inner part of the thighs I'm indicating, and the toes are pointing forwards for this stretch. And then when we come out of the stretch in a moment, the leg that's bent will become the straight leg, and the leg that was straight will become the bent leg. So we'll just change sides, again stretching off that inner thigh area. Again, working to a range where, or to a point where you can feel mild tension in that inner thigh. It should not be painful. Just heel, should not be painful. Heel toe those legs back in. Take the arms up for the chest stretch. Take the arms back. Again, feeling that mild tension across the chest area. So just stretching off, having done the chest work, whether that was a half press up or pressing forwards with the dumbbells. So stretching out that area now. And then we're going to shoulder stretch. One arm up. Take it across the torso, hand by the elbow, and just easing that arm back towards your torso, stretching off the shoulders. I'm going to repeat the stretch on the other side as well, again holding for roughly 10 seconds. So we take the arm up, take it across the torso, hand by the elbow, and just ease that back, just holding that stretch there. And we'll be completing the stretches with a tricep stretch. So we'll be lowering the arms down, taking one arm straight up in the air, bending it back behind the head, place the other hand on the elbow and ease that arm towards the ear. So we feel the stretch down the back of the arm, the upper part of the arm, the triceps. Again, holding for roughly 10 seconds. And just relax and lower that down. Take the other arm up nice and high, bend it back, hand on the elbow and just ease it back towards the ear. And just holding that stretch position again. And once you've completed that stretch, you just shake the arms out. And that's your 6 appeal completed. Well done.